I was able to get a hold of the script and realizing it was a period piece. I was like, oh, 1918, 1933. I immediately started to think, as I was reading it, like, what would that feel like for an African American in those times? And World War I, it's, I was more familiar with World War II than I was One. It's almost like a forgotten war in a way. So that was very appealing as well. And and I was really excited about being able to get to do some research about that and really investigating what it means to be a war veteran, and racial profiling aside, just an American fighting for your country in 1918, and having a global sense of what that would feel like too. As far as what I mean by that is how the world viewed us Americans and our relationship to the world. Joining the war, World War I a little late. And then at the heart of it, as I started to, read more of it, realizing that it's ultimately it comes down to friendship and companionship and trust. It felt like All-Star Weekend, I imagine. Like I'm in an All-Star game. I'm just sitting back and watching these masters go. Chris Rock just riffing. And, I mean, it felt, every time he was on set too, I felt protected in a way. I felt like, and I imagine that's what it felt like when you get back with your war buddies, when they got all together, this 369th members, the Harlem Hellfighters. It felt like this historical bond of like trauma, fight for equal rights. What Chris Rock represents, period, like in comedy and entertainment, as an actor, as everything. I remember there was a moment of like almost shock of like how real it felt. Like I would feel like I was totally transported into a time. 1918 was those hospital scenes. Like we were, with Valerie and we're like, she's like yelling in French and we're speaking in French and I have my wound, my bandages on and my wounds and everything. That felt extremely real. And the French uniforms that they made, I thought those were great. Those were excellent, and I felt like in a way that we were armed with history on that. Like people aren't gonna. I don't think it's well known that was a thing that happened, and it felt something. It gave me it felt like a cape, like a superhero in a way, because of how the French treated the African American soldiers, the way they're supposed to be treated. And the love of these characters, as quirky, unique, unhinged at times, deeply sorrowful and traumatized people, that they're good people and they're trying their best. So I think it's just going to be entertaining. It's going to look beautiful. Take that in, people.